Hi, this is a video for the Year 2s to help them with their assignment. This is the first podcast. I'm going to talk about the possible questions that you can ask your students, your children, to get your child's perception of writing, because you want to get a transcript. Remember, you want to ask one child and you want to get their perceptions of writing, so what they actually feel about writing, what they think about writing, what they consider it to be like. So some suggestions are on the Moodle page. So if I keep turning this way, it's because I'm looking at the page online on my on Moodle, and it gives you some suggestions for questions. So some of the questions, for instance, I would start by asking them to show you their best piece of work and asking them why it's their best piece of work. What things about it are they proud of? What things do they like? So you'll get an idea of the type of things that they think are important in writing. Ask them if they showed it to anyone, and if they answer, you can kind of extend their questions. You then want to ask them what makes them want to write. When do they feel inspired to write? Do they like writing? Do they want to write in class? Do they want to write at home? Remember, this isn't about a judgment on how they write. It is about what they perceive about writing, what their perception is of writing, their perceptions of writing. You want to ask them who they share their writing with. Who do they see? Who do they show their writing to when they've done it? Do they show it to their parents? Do they show it to their teachers? Do they show it to their friends? So you're finding out if they're thinking that they're writing for an actual purpose. Are they writing for an audience? You also want to maybe ask them things about who's the best writer in the class, because that way and why they're the best writer in the class, because that way you'll find out what they consider to be really important aspects of writing. You want to ask them about what writing they do out of school. Do they write on the computer? Do they do texting? Do they do lists? What kind of writing do they do? Writing with anyone else? So to actually see to find out if there's a difference between what they write at home and what they write at school, what their perceptions of writing are in various places. You might ask them about when they're older, what they see themselves as writing when they're older, so you can kind of see what they see the purpose of writing to be again. What kind of things that you think they'll write, they think they'll write when they're a grown up. So that would again you'll be able to find out what their perception is of adults as writers. I would start by reading some stuff, the introductory bits in Teresa Kremin, Teaching English Creatively. That's a really good place. There are other good books as well. Writing Under Control, Being Literate by Prue Goodwin is very good. I read a really good article at the weekend that is by someone called Ros Fisher from Exeter. It's one of those readings that when you read it, sometimes you think, oh, my head hurts. But there are some really good bits in it, and there's some really good bits that would help with this assignment, because it looks at how teachers kind of talk to children about writing. There's also the first thing you should really read, though, is the article that we put up, the David Ray article. So that should be helpful as a starting point. So get your conversation. Remember, it's one conversation with one child, and then start kind of reading around. So this is the first podcast. I will put more podcasts up about how to actually write the essay once it's nearer the time. I hope everything's going well on placement. If you've got any questions about the assignment, don't hesitate to email Roger or myself. So I hope it's all going well. Bye bye.